Well, it's a beautiful morning in Tonopah, Nevada. And Tanya and I are going for a little walk right now, first thing this morning. And we're going to go on a tour, or an ATV tour, through an old abandoned silver mine a little bit later today. It's a beautiful morning this morning here in central Nevada. See the blue skies. We have a little bit of haze from wildfires. Not too bad. Oh, look up here. You can see there's part of the old mine up there. So let's get ready to go. Thanks for joining us. Well, we're coming up here on the Tonopah Volunteer Fire Department. Here is I think not one of their vehicles. I think it's the vehicle. So if there's ever a fire in Tonopah, this will be racing to the rescue. So as we're taking our little walk through Tonopah this morning, we came across a historical marker that talks about how Tonopah at one time had about 10,000 people. It has about 4,000 now. And at one time it was, has about 2,000 people. And at one time was the largest silver producer in the United States. Then it became the county seat. The mines petered out in the 20s, and Tonopah kind of began its long decline, but it's still got 2,000 people, so they're scratching away at a living here. So we're taking a tour through the residential area of Tonopah. I saw a big T over on one of the mounds over there for Tonopah. Well, we're heading up right now to the Mizpah mine. Was at one time the largest silver producer in the entire United States. And we're going to go on a ATV tour, I think, of the mine. Well, actually, there's several shafts and several mines in this area, but there's some of the mine over there. Some of the old vehicles still left. We're heading on up here to the visitor center. You ready for all this, Tanya?
Oh, too much excitement.
Really?
Well, I hope it's not too frightening. I mean, look at that hill up there. Well, I hope we don't take the ATV all the way up.
Well, why not? It makes fun.
Maybe with my eyes closed.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go.
All right, let's do it. So this was all hand dug, or no?
It was all this was all hand dug. This is all hand dug. Yep.
Ah.
Yep. That's what makes it so incredible.
Really incredible.
This vein is mined out at over 1,500 feet deep. We're just seeing a small section of it right here. You can get an idea how the leasers just came in, started breaking rock right on the surface of the vein, and chasing the veins in, breaking the rock and bagging the ore. The bags would have been like a burlap sack, and they would have been stacked right on the side of the vein here, right next to the leaser's tent where he was living. So it was easy to keep an eye. And birds. Pigeons.
They didn't.
They're not birds. They're pigeons.
Yeah.
Rats.
Rats with wings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So no safety.
And then, of course, with the invent of the carbide lamp started being used too. So we extended the tunnel out with this timbering that you see here. The timbering square set, big solid lags like this would have been used in areas that there'd be looser falling rock. But the last 40 or 50 feet of the tunnel is the original tunnel, so it's going to be all open face rock with some of the original timbers up above. And then at the end of the tunnel, we've suspended a steel viewing cage inside of and above a 500-foot open step. At 100 feet or 1,500 feet. And here we're in the original part of the tunnel right here.
Hey,
Yeah.
there's that drill.
Oh yeah.
And then you can, if you look up, you can see some of the original timbers up above. And then of course the cage. Watch your step going up onto the cage there.
I think he's going to abandon us, Tanya.
What's that?
I said, I think you're going to abandon us. We're going in here, and then it'll drop down. It's a slide for life. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ah, is this where we saw? Before this was made into a park, when local kids come here and get drunk and dare each other to.
Yes. Jump across. They would come down, and the older kids would come down into these and drink their beer. The younger kids. If you wanted to go from the south side of town to the north side of town, this was the quickest route. So, and it was all open, and that was the reason why the last mining company who had the property wanted to get rid of it. So this was a donation. They donated it to the town, or gifted it. So.
This is fascinating.
A little bit later.
Uh-oh.
And the old car.
Yeah.
We have a few old cars on the property. Feet. We're standing on probably 1,000 of that right here. Generate air for their pneumatic equipment, or their drills and their chippers and jackhammers. You can look at the dates on the air compressors, and you can see that they date it 1903, installed in 1903. No rail service here till mid-1904, so all the equipment that you're looking at here came in pre-railroad, so it would have been brought in on pieces, or in pieces on a wagon.
On a wagon.
Yeah.
Down below, the area where the metal buildings are clustered together, that's the old Campbell and Kelly Foundry and Machine Shop. It was formed in 1906 to service not just the mines of Tonopah, but the entire surrounding central Nevada area. Anytime anybody needed a part to be made, they could go with a drawing. A wooden form would be made. The wooden form would be pressed into a sand casting, and then the molten material would be poured in to the sand casting. Once it cooled off, they'd clean it off and you'd have your part ready to go. It didn't matter how small or how large, they could make anything right there. The grandson still lives on the property there, and he still works in the machine shop there. Shack. There were even other homes that were built up here on the side of the mountain. It would have been almost like an entire another city up here. Desert Queen. The Desert Queen, one of Jim's original mines. This is the first mine that was developed by the Tonopah Mining Company in early 1902. One of the most recognizable headframes in the West. The size of it, the big bin that's mounted to the front of it is a storage bin, and it's actually in the shape of
Nevada.
Isn't that
Nevada.
right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's how to design. So, you know, the design of the slanted floor, the weight of the rock, everything will slide to the front of the bin. There are chutes on the front, and they could open those chutes up or those hatches up and flow the rock out and move it around to wherever they wanted to. The Desert Queen mine in February of 1911, there was a fire in the Belmont mine, which is on the backside of the mountain. Big Bill Murphy, who worked over here, was asked to take a group of men down the Desert Queen shaft to try to cross over into the Belmont and rescue miners that were trapped. And they made